My absolutely beautiful astrology soulmates, it's me, Stormie Grace, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for the week of November 11th. And whoa, what a week it has been last week, right? And this week is going to be a little bit intense as well. We've got the full moon happening in Taurus that is also going to be in conjunction with Uranus that is in Taurus. So there is some expect the unexpected that is available. We are also going to see that Saturn is coming direct in the vibration of Pisces. And this adds, though, I think the steadying influence that we need for the week, the place where we go, okay, I need to ground down not just into what I perceive to be truth, but spiritual truths, intuitive truths. I have to move and go with my conscience. So I think that it is a week where it's a little bit intense, but there is a fair amount of grounding energy here as well. Now, if we've never met before, I'm practicing professional astrologer Stormie Grace, and I am thrilled to be here with you. Now, if you do not have your 2025 digital transit calendar to get you ready as one of the resources for 2025 as we travel, please click in my description box down below. Use my code, get a little discount on that calendar from our friends at Wise Skies Collective. And if you are one of our astrology friends who is ready to take your astrology to the next level, you're ready to talk about chart aspects or aspect patterns, you're ready to start that journey towards transits, I've got Astrology 102 starting in December. So if that's you, jump in. And if you're one of our newer friends and you are just looking to learn the language of astrology, Astrology 101 is ready for you as well. Okay, beautiful friends, let's jump in first to our quote of the week, then our thought of the week, and then we will look at what the week has to offer. And remember, the timestamps are in the description box down below for you for every single day this week. So our quote of the week: surprises are the unplanned teachers on our journey to self-discovery. And here's the question I thought to guide us this week. What inner truths might you unearth if you allow life to surprise you? Wow, what does that mean to you this week? What is that teaching you this week? What are you exploring this week? Let me know in the comment section down below. Okay, like I said, this week I do think we have a lot of transformative energy because, first of all, it's a full moon week, and that full moon conjunct Uranus is going to bring a bit of upset. And upset is not necessarily bad, but it can be like a sudden revelation or an unexpected event comes into our lives, comes into our world. Saturn brings that grounding, but then we also have Venus stepping into Capricorn, and that's getting us to be a bit more serious about the commitments and the alignments that we are connected to. So starting out here on Monday, our moon day, how we come into the week, we are coming into the week with the moon in Pisces. So first of all, one of the things we want to know is we have to feel into that vibration, right? The moon is coming in on a water energy. So this is a week where we could be coming in and we're a bit more emotional. It's a bit more like, I don't even want to be in Monday, right? This kind of escaping or unrealistic kind of energy. Some of you may be feeling really emotionally drained, or like you just need a lot of downtime, right? So if this is something that you're feeling, I just want to acknowledge that the moon also speaks to the energy of a collective. So there could be a collective tired that is coming in as we're traveling on Monday. But one of the things I want you to also see is the other side. There's relief and alignment when we're working with this Pisces moon. One of the things that you can be doing is, first of all, pay attention to where your intuition is particularly heightened, right? Pay attention to spiritual practices that you have, because what's coming up for you? Where do you feel like you're being guided? Where are you feeling like you even need to take care of your health? You're like, wow, all of this energy that's moving around is showing me that not only am I tired of a collective vibration, but maybe I'm even also just a little tired. I haven't been creating. I need some time to just have restorative energy as well. So you can really do well to align with that energy. Now, also on Monday, going right in, we've got Venus jumping into that vibration of Capricorn. And I want to remind us that Venus is not that hustler energy. She's not going to get it, get it, get it, get it. Venus is attracting. Now in Capricorn, Venus gets really pragmatic, right? So what we are attracting to us, what we think and we say and we decide has value is going to be a lot more grounded. It's a lot more serious, and it's going to have the question of, does this have long-term benefit to me, to my plan, to my self-worth, to my relationships, to my legacy? These are going to be the questions. So if you're feeling, drawn, you're starting to feel this draw towards, I need to make things solid in my life, I don't want any of this surface level stuff. I need to make something solid. I need to set strong boundaries. I need to do those kinds of things. This is the energy that I think is going to be really helpful. Now, one of the questions I just wanted to give you to think about this is in terms of your relationships and in terms of your financial decisions, are they in alignment with your long-term goals? That is a question I really would love for you to consider as Venus is traveling through Capricorn. And in a world reflective kind of way, I think we might see a lot more shifting energy towards making not only transformations and transfers happen, but there's like in the global market, we may start to see that corporations, governments are starting to make more serious decisions about not just what is the value of finance, because we'll still see that conversation going, but how to restructure financial things for sure. All right, as we're going to get ready to get towards the end of the day, we've got, what have we got? 11:13 p.m. to 11:25 p.m. This is Mountain Time. We see the moon step into a position of void, of course, so rest. This is the most ideal time to rest. Put things down, let it go. If you happen to be part of our crew that's working late at night and you can't just stop working because the moon's void, of course, give yourself a mental and an energetic break. What can you let just kind of roll off your shoulders? You can be there, you can do what you need to do, but you're taking it at a more restful energy. Now at 11:25 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we're going to get that moon on into Aries. So then you can go be about it, okay? As the moon rolls into the fiery energy of Aries, first of all, we have a surge of motivation. There's a surge of courage. There's a surge of, I got it, I'm more independent, and I'm ready, and I'm motivated internally to move towards something. And we move from this really reflective, internal kind of energy here into, nope, I'm action-oriented, I'm inspired, I'm ready to go. Now, some of the negative or the challenging aspects that can come with the moon shifting into Aries is, first of all, you can be impatient. We can be demonstrating massive amounts of impatience. We're not assertive about our boundaries and what we need. We're flat out aggressive, right? We're saying things and doing things without having a thought about what's going to happen after we say or we do that thing. So this is something that I'm going to caution you to just pay attention. And sometimes, though, the experience is being emotionally restless, being emotionally discontent, being emotionally in conflict, and having to watch how you navigate that. And remember, though, there's a relief and alignment that is available to you. One of the things you can do is, first of all, if you have been feeling indecisive about all sorts of things, or you felt like your energy was a bit stagnant, maybe you're having a hard time getting your vitality back up, this is a lunation that is definitely going to be helpful for you. And we'll see more boldness in lots of ways, not just in our own lives and our own energy, but certainly in the world at large itself. Okay, on Tuesday, we have got Mercury in a square to Saturn, so our planet of the mind and thinking and how I'm making decisions and how I'm gathering information in a square to Saturn, who wants to crystallize and bring structure. So first of all, the square is the 911 aspect because it's telling us we're getting squished inside of this square. We need to do something. I'm going to take an action to not get squished inside of the square. And also it's building a tension. So a part of the tension can be maybe you're feeling like there's more mental blocks that are presenting themselves. You're getting really serious in your thinking, or you're really serious in your communication, but you feel like it's not moving forward. The solution's not presenting itself. So what I'm going to tell you is, first of all, when Saturn gets involved, it requires patience. This is an aspect that will require patience, and you are going to be served very well to slow down and rethink the strategy that you are looking for and trust your intuition as to how the situation is moving. There's a kink somewhere, and trusting that intuitive vibe will really help you navigate this. But think about where you maybe are just being asked to look at it from a different perspective. Now, negatively, this has a negative impact. Can be a negative impact transit. And the negative self-talk can be insane. And I really want to encourage you always, always, and forever to, not stay too long at the negative neighborhood if you can avoid that. But the negative self-talk, the being really rigid, if it's not this way, it's not right. If you are dwelling on a story over and over again, I'm stuck, it's not going to work, I'm not good enough, any of that can be a part of this. But relief and align. There's relief and alignment with this as well, and that's going to be come at it from a different perspective. Where can you look at this differently? Maybe what you're being handed is that you're trying to do something, you're trying to go down a particular path, and you're just being handed a reality check that something about this plan is not enough in alignment for you to move it forward. And instead of feeling bad, address the weakness. Address the weakness and create your pivot, okay? Now on Wednesday, first of all, we've got the moon entering into the vibration of Taurus, okay? So we're gonna start to get some real grounding because the moon in Taurus is going to emphasize stability, being sturdy, being enduring. We've got this really grounded, earthy vibration coming into our emotional lives, right? It's our emotions in earth. We can be more with emotions that are happening, but it also is Tauran energy. It's going to invite us to slow down. Indulge in your life, indulge in your world, and take on some creature comforts. What do you need to bring in Wednesday and Thursday that just makes you feel grounded? It makes you feel good, makes you feel secure, makes you feel beautiful. Because to the negative side of this, you can just be lazy. Just lazy. You're like, no, I'm not doing any of this. But in the light of a lot of the energy we've been seeing on the global stage, one of the negatives that comes up for me under the Taurus moon can be refusing to budge. Right? Being so stubborn that you're going to be like, no, what I think, what I feel, these are the only right things. It doesn't matter that the world is changing around me. I'm not going with it. Right? And that is going to be it's going to be painful, and it can get really complacent and it's really resistant. So I just want you to know, if this is the experience that you're having, sometimes we have to have this experience, right? But also there's relief and some realignment that we can work with. Enjoy something simple. Maybe you haven't figured it all out. Maybe you're not fully ready for the future. Maybe you're not ready to change all of these things. Maybe you're even overwhelmed. That could just be the word. Are you feeling overwhelmed, right? Emotionally, are you feeling overwhelmed? Where can you just take it? Slow down pace, one little thing at a time. One little thing at a time. So globally, I do think that preparing for this full moon, the moon's movement into Taurus, we're going to see a lot more environmental issues coming up around this time that we may be hearing a lot louder from people, okay? So just pay attention to that as well. All right, Friday. It's Friday here in Spain as I'm recording, but Friday, we have got two big events. So Friday is a high energetic day. Pay attention to what's going on. First of all, we have Saturn coming direct in the vibration of Pisces. Now, Saturn's direct motion in Pisces, first of all, is going to bring a sense of clarity. There's some clarity that comes when the planet stations into a direct motion again. We can start moving forward, right? But a lot of what we've been reviewing and maybe not having full clarity around are our needing to do an internal review of our boundaries, of how emotionally and spiritually resilient am I to be out in the world? Where have I grown, spiritually? And we see it because I'm freer of my resentments, or I understand the position that person was coming from a little bit more. I'm more disciplined in my spiritual practice. But either way, as Saturn is direct now, it's going to ask us to bring structure to everything that we have learned and everything that we have reviewed, including our emotional lives, Pisces, a water sign, and our spiritual lives. Pisces is moving in between the worlds. But really, what I love is that this energy now is going to demand of us to demonstrate compassion. And you cannot fake compassion. You've got it or you don't. I've got it or I don't, right? And so Saturn here is like compassion and deep empathy, which doesn't mean we're doormatting around. I know I've said that for like the last 3 weeks, but these are different things. But this transit of Saturn coming direct is going to ask us to demonstrate where we also grew in our spiritual growth enough to genuinely apply compassion to ourselves, to others, to the world, to different situations. Now, I do think that for some, this could be this day in general, but certainly Saturn station can be challenging, because what you're going to get to see as Saturn is stationing in the days to come is if you really did learn strong enough lessons around setting boundaries, right? Around your ability to move emotionally with emotional maturity with other people. If you're feeling burdened by the needs of other people and their needs, this is going to be a place where Saturn's going to start showing you that. But look for relief and alignment, clear sense of direction, clear sense of boundaries, clear sense of discipline in your life that allows you to be spiritually grounded. Now, just behind this magic, or, in the same day of this magic, we've got the full moon happening in Taurus. This is conjunct Uranus. So first of all, the full moon is asking us to end something, acknowledge something, or to make an adjustment. Okay, so it's all the lights in the room are on. This full moon is aligning and lightening up for us all of the emotional contents that we are about. Now, Uranus is bringing this mix of, first of all, shaking the stability of Taurus, right? Taurus is that good stability. And then Uranus throws a lightning bolt into the earth. And so something is suddenly changed, or it's suddenly unearthed. And the instinct will be, I need to seek something that gives me security, right? But Uranus's surprise here, what it finally hits the earth with that lightning bolt, when it opens the earth up and you are unearthed a bit, it's highly emotional, it's highly vulnerable, it can feel like you're a little bit prickly, but also Uranus here brings enough surprise to say, change is coming, change is around the corner. You have a skill or a talent that you can be about. You have a goodness coming to you that you could be about that you would never have had access to if this were not unearthed. Now, what kind of things is it going to be? First of all, look at where this lunation is happening in your chart. What house is it in for you? Because that'll give you a key, but something around relationships, around money, around your self-worth, around how you receive, around what you believe about beauty and femininity. These are going to be key themes that are presented to you. Now, because it's a full moon and all of the lights are on as well, Uranus might be giving you a really different look at old emotional patterns, old emotional behaviors, old emotional beliefs that you're still bringing to the table. And under the Taurus energy, Taurus is going to keep its hands on it no matter what. And that Uranus is going, Taurus, open your hands. And so you're able to let it go. You're able to have a detachment to it. That's not serving me anymore. Wait, if I ground my feet down in here, I will not be walking with the universe. I'm going to have to be drugged. And at this point, it's my choice to be drug or to walk. And that's powerful. That's powerful. I think this is a really massive revelation that is available for us as we travel with this lunation. Now, there are some, of course, I think, negative interpretations or more challenging interpretations that can come with this as well. And that is that grounding in. I'm going to ground down, be the bull, right? I'm going to ground down. I'm going to ground into resistance to change, fear of, uncertainty. So I'm going to just ground down and hold on to this so that I can be in what I consider to be a comfort zone, even if it's killing me. Seek relief, seek alignment, okay? Stagnant energy is just being moved out because it's not about the world's greatest good. It's about your greatest good and being in alignment. And when your vibe is on, the universe is going to be in alignment as well. You're going to be in alignment. So just consider that, okay? All right, now Saturday, after all of this excitement on the 15th, we've got the moon, first of all, going to move into the position of Gemini. And then we've got several aspects today that I think are pretty important. But so the moon is going to move into Gemini here. early in the day, early morning. That's lovely. Okay, so as the moon moves into Gemini, first of all, we have the moon moving into air. So you maybe have to think about how you feel before you feel how you feel, because that's typically how air energies process it. But it's social. And I like that. The moon's you just had a full moon. Now maybe you want to talk about what's going on. What did you learn? Well, that was an intense full moon. You're sharing a bit of information. So where there can be this mental restlessness that is just natural for a Gemini energy, there's also a curiosity. What happened? What was that? Why was I so indecisive? Am I still indecisive about something? And you're like willing to engage and be more stimulated and stay really curious. Now, just behind that, we're going to see that Venus comes into a square with the nodes. Now, whenever the nodes are getting engaged, I think it's really important for us to pay attention because it's a destiny meetup. And sometimes it's very quiet, especially when Venus gets involved. Now, as Venus squares the nodes, though, this is still a challenging aspect. So this can be a hard day for relationships. This, I think, can be a really challenging day for relationships because it's going to put you in a position that you have to have that tense conversation about what are my values, what are my financial goals, what are my romantic goals, what are my partnership goals, where am I at with my self-esteem. These are going to be tough questions that get brought to the table, but they're at critical peak at this time to be answered, because as Venus is traveling in that vibration of Capricorn ruled by Saturn doesn't want to mince a lot of words. It's going to be, am I in alignment with moving towards my life's purpose, or I'm not? I need to reevaluate this connection. I need to reevaluate this commitment. Now, to the negative side, creating confusion in relationships or around finances. Again, if you're clinging to an old idea of what this needs to be and what it needs to look like, that's not going to be as helpful. It's going to help you, it's going to hinder you and make it more complicated for you to make a decision about what you need to do going forward. Seek relief, seek alignment, clarify what you mean. Clarify what your goal is, clarify what's important to you, invite relationships and experiences and changes into your life that align you with the relationships and the values and the financial experiences that you want to have in your life. Now, if you need a little bit extra help for that, the Sun is going to come into an opposition with Uranus. Now, this opposition, two planets are pulling, they're going this way, and the opposition's tight, but it's another relational aspect. When we are looking at an opposition, it's typically relational, right? You want freedom, but you also want, I want some surprise. I want something a little different. I have this really hidden desire for change, but also I don't want to do it. It's this really just interesting dichotomy when you put Scorpio and Taurus energy together. But what is certain to happen here is if there are things that are hidden desires, hidden things that need to be talked about, even things that are just hidden because they were unconscious to you at the time, this is going to be the time where they are revealed. Now, what we want from an opposition is to integrate them. Where are both sides correct? Where can you get them to work together? Look at the areas of your life that you want more freedom. Uranus and Taurus, you're like, I got to have some more freedom here. I've got to have some more freedom here. And be willing to tell the deep, yucky truth about what that is. I don't like our sex life. I don't like my body. I'm afraid of my finances. I love my finances and I want more free. What is this scorpionic truth that maybe you've not really been wanting to say? That's the thing that's said correctly and won't burn your life down, but it just brings it to the surface. And then Uranus is going, oh yeah, no, I've been trying to tell you that's an old pattern. We don't need that. I don't want that. Let's create some freedom. And the integration of both of these sides is going to relieve that struggle. Right? It's going to get you off the struggle bus a lot easier. Now, I do think that this aspect globally as well, I was just looking at it. It's like this, with Uranus involved here, I just keep looking at this and I'm like, this looks like a day, this is a sudden shift in whether it be a political or a social arena where it's like, we need to take this against the status quo. So I think we'll be paying attention to that on Saturday there, okay? All right, on Sunday, we're going to see that the moon has shifted void of course, for sure. Like as we're getting to the end of the day, we've done the moon in Gemini, but before we leave the day, the moon is going to shift void of course from 9:08 p.m., going all the way until 1:49 a.m. on Monday. So I'm telling you, when the void of course moons are longer, there's no reflection back, so we can get into the head game. It's an ideal time to process, to let things go, to let them be down, to finish up things, but the head game can kick on. It's not going to be okay. Danger, fear, paranoia can kick on because we're not reflecting back. Now, when a void of course period's pretty short, it's like, yeah, okay, I was weird for like 5 minutes, But when we get into the space of hours, you can also, if you're sleeping through this, have the most random dreams, or they're very intense, can be what that's like, or it's very busy, right? We're moon void of coursing under this very Taurian Gemini vibration. So it's like, so it could be a very busy energy on Sunday, but align and relief. First of all, if you're heading to bed, you're in that 9 o'clock time frame, give yourself some time to wind it down if you can. Stay open-minded even to what's coming in the dream life. Stay open-minded to the fact that you are seated in the hands of the universe, safe and protected, loved, and always guided on a journey that is built to have you cosmically in the best position for what you need to learn and what you need to do. All right, my absolutely beautiful friends, I love you a ton. I look forward to seeing you next week in the 2025 videos, in classes and courses online, and all of the beautiful places to get to see you. And some of you, I will see you in Australia as well. Bye, everybody. Have a great week.